Good Shape, your weekly dose of health information on Deutsche Welle. Find out more about what's new in medical treatment, alternative medicine, as well as nutrition, wellness, and beauty. Medical professionals, therapists, and counselors are in our studio to offer their expert advice on In Good Shape.
Dr. Anna Mietzner, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Dr. Mietzner, the approach that a TCM doctor will take is different from someone who's trained in conventional Western medicine. Can you explain that with an example, please? Say a patient has a severe headache. How would the approaches be different?
Well, a Western doctor, I think, should first find out if there is an organic reason for this headache, maybe a tumor or some disorders of the vessels. And afterwards he would treat this symptomatically. Usually they give some painkillers, but you could also try some exercises for the neck and the shoulders if there is a lot of tension. A Chinese doctor should find out what is the underlying imbalance to this headache, and there might be different imbalances, and according to this, you will treat it differently. For example, if it's just a stagnation of qi out of emotional reasons, it's good to have acupuncture or do Qigong. But if there is an underlying emptiness, like, say, an emptiness of blood, it's not enough to give acupuncture, but you should give some herbal medicine. Mm-hmm. So according to the Chinese syndrome, we call it, you will choose different kind of therapies. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you mentioned qi again, that life energy. Can you explain briefly, because that's so important to traditional Chinese medicine, what that concept entails?
Qi is a substance like vital energy, and it has to flow properly in the human body. And if it's like this, a human being is healthy. Because qi is also not flowing by itself, it also takes with him blood and fluids and nutritions and so on. And it's responsible for a lot of functions in the body. Mm-hmm. And if this doesn't work, you have a lot of problems.
You have a problem. Okay, so you are trained in Western medicine as well. And is it a problem for you, or how do you deal with it, that this concept of qi is not yet, at least, scientifically proven?
It's no problem for me, because I'm working with this Chinese medicine, like acupuncture and herbal medicines, for many years, since the 80s. And I found it in practice very successful. Not always, but a lot of diseases I could, or a lot of patients I could help with this concepts of Chinese medicine. And I think if you are able to cure, you are right. And also Western medicine has a lot of, or not, some medicaments which are not very clear in their working mechanism.
So some drugs, we don't know why they work,
yes,
but they do.
And we also take them and because they work.
Yeah, okay, all right. So from your experience, you've seen TCM to be very effective. We've had many viewers writing to us on the topics, like Norberto Gerardo Tussinger, who'd like to know whether you can actually use TCM practices to help cure glaucoma.
You can try. It depends on the stage of disease, if you are successful or not. If it's just high eye pressure, or pressure inside the eye is too high, I think acupuncture can help a lot. Or perhaps also a Chinese herbal prescription. If you have also already a disorder of the optic nerve and the eyesight is lost, I think you cannot help a lot.
Mm-hmm. Which other diseases can you treat using TCM?
You can treat a lot of diseases, especially pain diseases. Then you would preferably use acupuncture, but you can treat a lot of functional disorders of the stomach or the intestines, or sleeping problems, hormonal imbalances, and so on. And you can use herbal prescription, as we have seen in the film, to reduce the side effects of Western medicine, but also sometimes if it's if it's a chronic disease, you can use these herbal prescriptions to reduce the dosage of the Western medicine. So it's also for chronic patients very important.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the herbal remedies. I mean, of course, you should try and see a TCM specialist, a doctor who's been trained to get a recommendation or a prescription for those. But if you don't have one nearby, can you just administer them yourself or can you order them yourself? Is that safe?
I wouldn't suggest that because it's really medicine. It's not just an infusion you have for tea. It's really medicine, and they might also have side effects if they are not composed right for your situation.
Mm-hmm. So are there practices of TCM that you can use by yourself, even if you don't have a TCM specialist that you can visit?
You can have, you can use the dietary advices. You should go once, for example, to a doctor who tells you what is good for your individual state, what he can advise you what to eat or what not to eat. And you could study Chinese exercises like Qigong or Tai Chi Chuan.
Mm-hmm. That's something you can do at home. Can you give us a concrete advice when it comes to diet? Say, is there a TCM advice for weight loss, for example?
You should eat regularly and not eat a lot of sweets in between, just have meals. And Chinese dietary always recommends to eat warm meals and not to eat a lot of dairy products, because in Chinese medicine they are cold and very damp, and it doesn't help you to lose weight, but on contrary, they might hinder you to lose weight.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind if you want to lose weight. Thank you very much for all this advice and for the information about TCM. Thanks for being our guest.
Yeah, you're welcome.